Rightio, g'day guys. It is Ben here from Hunt the Night. What we're going to do today is just sight in this GSCI on my 223, and I got really poor thermal conditions today. A little bit of blue sky up there, but I really want the blue sky up that way a bit more. I'm going to sight this in at 50 yards, and I got this little external recorder. Thanks to Ian Cooper on Facebook's lent me that, so we're going to get some recording off this too. Got a couple of different targets today. What I'm going to do is show what I'm doing. By the way, if anyone ever wants to know how many rounds I put through, that is not a wombat hole. There's a lot of lead in there. So I've got my normal target that I normally use. A little bit of foil in the middle, and it's tilted back. And over here, and I want to demonstrate the difference of this, because I've got actually two hot hands set up. So I've got the traditional hot hands on the external here. This is going to cause quite a little bit of thermal blooming, which you'll probably see. Now what I've done with this one, this hot hands here, is I've actually cut a little hole, put the hot hands behind it, and that should helpfully stop some of that thermal blooming that you get. So we're going to give that a go and see what it looks like. They're my two different targets. We'll play around, we'll get it sighted in, and then tonight we'll go and fulfill some contracts and tend to some properties. Thanks guys. Should have recorded all that. Just changed my profile. Just change my elevation a little bit. And I hate to say it, well not hate to say it, but that is such a good image for the crappy conditions I've got. I'm black hot at the moment. I'm going to zoom in on this target in a second. I'll put a few rounds through it. Nice on. Obviously I'm shooting suppressed, which is a great help. I'll put a 3 group through. I'm going to go down and see what we've got. Put the bolt back in too. The first thing I do, guys, every time I zero out the scope, is I always bore sight it first. So basically I just look down at the target, bore, and then line the bore, so looking through the bore with the bolt out, making sure it's on paper, then kind of putting the reticle where I expect that to be. So, my safety on for a sec, because I want to jump out of this, because I actually want to save that for a sec. Because what I want to do is just zoom in a bit. Love that little feature of it bumping out and bumping back in. Going back out. I've got a pretty good idea where that grouping is. Don't often see it in scopes, but it's looking like it's kind of there down to the left. It's very rare that I pick up the groupings with a scope from this kind of distance. But this is such a sensitive unit, and it's a really not great conditions day. I'm under cloud at the moment, so let's go have a look. So guys, just as we saw through the scope, I put my 3 group shot there. One's a little flyer, two through the same hole, one there. You know, such a consistent little unit, this GSCI. So I'm going to go and change the reticle, move it down to that point. I've got a pretty good view of it, so it's going to be pretty easy to do. It doesn't have a one-shot zero like the Infra, but I don't think I'm really going to need it. I've got no idea where it is. Alright, so I got a fair idea. The heat's gone out of it, so now I'm going to be guessing a little bit, but I got a fair idea where that is. So to get into zeroing, we go down. Yep, wrong button. Into zeroing here. Okay, now, isn't a one-shot zero, so I've got to try and make sure this bag's in a pretty good spot. I'll bring the elevation down. You can see the image is moving up. Okay, hit this button. Now they're kind of there. So, alright. I'll fire another 3 rounds and see if we're any closer. Normally on a good thermal day, that target, I can, you know, shoot that target without having to have foil, but it's getting late in the afternoon, that sun's going down. And that's been a very cold day as it is. So I can see them a little bit low. Just below centre. It looks like I'm centred pretty well, but just a little bit low. So, I'm going to go and check that. Alright, so again, pretty much exactly where we saw it. We got one sitting just in here. So I've got 2 just through there. That's a single. And there's a single. So I'm actually going to move that not too much. I'm happy for it to be a little bit low at 50, because I know with this round, if I'm about a ½ inch or so low at 50, I'm going to be pretty close to 0 at 200. So I'm just going to bring it up a little bit. I keep forgetting to hit record. So this is hopefully the 3rd and final group. I'm going to have a quick look at thermal blooming, which isn't looking that great to me from here, but we'll have a look at it in a second. Love how it zooms out when I fire. Right, I'm shooting suppressed 223 and it's just detecting that recoil beautifully. So that last group, sitting in here, pretty happy with that. Especially for today's conditions. You know, I could probably make that a little bit tighter. Normally what I do is I'll shoot something like this. Then I'll move to one of these targets just to dial it in, but not having any light or any thermal to help me do that, it's a bit hard. Let's go ahead and see what these look like, but I know on black hot these are going to look pretty bad. This one here, it's actually heated up the box, so it's starting to bloom a fair bit, but we'll go have a look. Maybe we'll just try and put 1 or 2 through it and go from there. Really the 2 things actually. Now I moved into black hot, I can actually see that target a little bit, which I wasn't expecting to, so I'm just going to put a few rounds through the bottom right, and I'm going to try and put 1 through that hot hands. I moved to white hot, as you can see. That hot hands, both of them are blooming pretty hard. Which is alright when you're out further distance, but you know, when you're zeroing at 50, you aren't going to get anywhere real kind of accurate. So, we'll just shoot a group down here. So one thing I'm doing to try and help find that centre a bit better too is I'm just kind of lining up the extremities of my reticle on the other ones, and it's going to get pretty close to being the centre. Yeah, you know, I'm not shooting bench rest accuracy, I'm shooting can I hit a fox at, you know, 100 metres, 150 metres accuracy. Minute of fox today. Let's go have a look. Alright, not too upset about that. As I said, I wanted to be a little bit low. Got 2 through there. I reckon that was my last shot. I don't think I was quite as good. Those 2 through there. And put 1 through the middle of that hand warmer as well. I've added a few to the hole. So yeah, there it is, guys. It's sighting in the GSCI. I'm pretty happy with that. That should be pretty close to 0 at 200. Yeah, I mean, it's that minute of fox anyway. That's all that really counts. That's it. Hope you enjoyed it, guys. See ya.